I should be. Has the man finally killed himself with so much shit he's let into his body? After the news story broke on him earlier in the week? I sound like a bastard. I've come to accept my brother will most likely be found on the side of the road, having overdosed. Or worse, he'll kill someone with his incompetence. And this is the worst case, sending shivers up my spine at the thought. Both my folks and I have readied ourselves for the day he overdoses or gets into an accident. His team in Nashville released him just yesterday after the news story broke. I haven't been able to contact him, but knowing my brother, he's gone on some sort of bender, leaving his pregnant wife to deal with all the repercussions. Lieutenant, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your brother's wife has been in an accident. Both her and her unborn baby girl were pronounced dead on the scene. Ali Solarites, though much younger than my brother, was the shining star in our family. It was a shock when my brother brought home a woman almost 12 years younger than him, but she was a rare gem. To say I loved her like a sister, and sometimes, well, most times, more than my arrogant brother, is an understatement. The steady footing of my life crumbles below me at the loss that now consumes me. I've been ready for many things as my brother's recklessness touched all of us, but not this. Not Allie, and certainly not the unborn little girl we'd been ready to welcome into our lives just 2 weeks from now. My brother isn't around when the casket of my sister-in-law is lowered into the ground. He hadn't been coherent enough to make a decision, and her parents happened to be even more of a shit show. In the end, our own father and mother relied on me for everything that needed to be planned. Edward has been told of his wife's passing, but I can't imagine he remembers it, or has any recollection of the events. The breaking story, the one that had exposed him for who he really was, had been just a matter of time. I'm surprised some reporter hadn't caught on to his lifestyle months ago. No one realizes we're so close, and we're twins. I'm a little shorter than his large build, and where I favor my father's more Latino features, he favors the fair complexion of my mother. I'd always been the responsible one. Thus, this is where I wipe away tears for the funeral we planned for a baby girl who would never be named. Edward wasn't around long enough to share what they'd been planning to call her. I'd asked for the baby's name, knowing they'd picked one. I didn't want to put Ali Solarites and baby girl on their gravestone, but I had no choice. My mother grieves for the girl she instantly loved, the second my brother brought the much younger woman home 5 years ago. My brother had made it huge in hockey. He'd gone #1 in the draft. After a couple of years, he wanted to settle down. We thought all the craziness was behind him, because Edward has always been the wild card in our lives. He never hid his drug use from me, at least not well. I was part of him, and sharing a bond like we had caused me to understand him and catch on to so many things I honestly never wanted to know. The funeral is small, close friends and family. The media has been more than kind to us, not bombarding us on the day we say goodbye to the person who was going to make me an uncle. Without my brother, and with the loss of a woman I adored, I'd never felt so lost before in my life. And worse, I had no idea when I'd get my brother back, if I ever would.
Garrison, 6 months ago. I stare at the business card he left on the desk of the grubby hotel we tend to do all sorts of naughty things in. His last fucking name is Solarites. How is that possible? He doesn't resemble the man I've thought of every day since the death of his wife. Google is my friend at this moment, as I look up the name that has haunted me for way too long. Edward Solarites. Edward Solarites, an American hockey player, went #1 in the draft 7 years ago to Boston, having played college at Harvard. I know this part of his life. Hell, I wrote every part of his biography.